My fellow colleagues, the Fifth World Conference of Speakers of Parliament is an event which provides a setting for lively dialogue and engagement between speakers of Parliament from all over the world. Parliamentarians engage in lively dialogue involving major global issues in a diverse and vibrant setting. On this occasion, we are convening under the theme of parliamentary leadership for more effective multilateralism that delivers peace and sustainable development for the people and the planet. This topic is only growing in relevance as the world faces more and more crises that can only be successfully overcome through joint global efforts. Let me emphasize that three significant words should be at the core of all our deliberations: people, planet, parliaments. To begin with, as the youngest president of the Inter-Parliamentary Union, and only the second woman to hold this position in the organization's history, I would like to take this opportunity to address the challenges facing women and young people today. This pandemic is causing dire economic consequences for everyone, but women and youth will be disproportionately affected, even as their involvement in major decision-making processes in our political systems remains limited. Make no mistake, we can do much better. Parliamentarians must remember that they have a duty to represent, which also entails speaking out for and including women and youth. We must do all we can to empower women and youth by providing them with greater means for greater political participation and involvement in major decision-making processes, particularly as they bear the brunt of economic and social inequalities. I am certain that we can find future leaders in women and younger generation, and I can attest that to myself. I would also like to state that this global pandemic has reminded us that the global problems knows no national borders. They threaten to undermine everything that we have achieved thus far. Multilateralism is the only way forward, as it provides the means for nations to work together and devise common solutions to common afflictions. Even then, there are some who would rather operate under the belief that solutions to problems that ignore borders can be found in exclusively national responses. Nothing can be farther from the truth. We cannot accept a state of affairs in which multilateralism is weakened precisely when it is needed the most. As parliamentarians, we must be firm in upholding and defending the principles enshrined in the Charter of the United Nations, principles that were only accepted after the hard-learned lessons of the 20th century. It is on us to ensure that international commitments made through multilateral avenues be translated into national and local realities. Solidarity, dialogue, and empathy must be the principles that guide our actions at all times. We must also remember that the Inter-Parliamentary Union is an organization committed to the defense of democracy and human rights, and it is its nature. Certainly, the global pandemic must be met with a swift and decisive response, but it should not be an excuse to institutionalize undemocratic practices through fear. The decline of democracy and the lack of respect for the human rights around the world is a worrisome trend that must stop now. Dear speakers and parliamentarians, now, more than ever, we must not falter in exercising our duties relating to the oversight of government action. Under no circumstance should we allow violations of human rights, the normalization of states of emergency, or aggressions against democratic constitutional order under our watch. Our constituents are counting on us to preserve individual rights and freedoms for which so many have sacrificed themselves for. Above all, let me also remember what matters the most: people. People should be at the center of every single decision that we make. They live through the effect of such decisions in their day-to-day lives. people need representatives, advocates, who are willing to fight for most humanity's important causes. This is about overcoming disease, about lifting millions out of poverty, about erasing inequality and misogyny. My fellow parliamentarians, our numbers are over 46,000 across all the world. We can be the generation that puts an end to the unfortunate conditions that have prevailed until today and begin to build back better. Let us be passionate for change, for transformation, for achieving a better world. The world counts on it.